research about the two extremes in the Chicago area, and they
You're,
named Fort Heights
you
one
guys
of
are
them.
on.
That's one of them.
Hey,
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 hey.
hey. It's your main
Hey.
man, Mega. Excited, of course, as always, for another episode of the Vintage House Show. And of course, because it is the at home edition, we are all together, the Vintage House crew. And I am so psyched, of course, to introduce co host Lori Branch. I'm pointing because I see you here and I see you there.
Here
DJ
I am.
Lori Branch in the building. How are you?
I'm great. How you?
And we are honored tonight because the Vintage House Show wouldn't be as exciting. Well, it's still a little bit exciting, but it's extra electric because we have with us tonight, as it was brought to my attention, one of our first female vocalists, artists, songstresses, um, burning up the chart right now.
Woohoo!
Long time consistent
Oh,
rocker in
Long
the house
overdue.
space.
I know.
Yes,
I was long overdue. But
the
great.
one and only Miss Carla Prather.
Hi, everybody.
Carla, you have to write a song. You have to make a song about a DJ in order to get on the show. See, that's the
Isn't
way it
that
works.
something? See,
Vocalists make DJ songs to get them on the show. I'm just
that's
kidding.
what it is, huh?
We're so glad you're here.
we,
Absolutely glad to be here.
we absolutely are thrilled to have you. And of course, it is, as Lori mentioned, there is a song that is tearing up the charts. Uh, it would be heating up the dance floors if we could all be
I
on them right
know.
now.
I know.
It is the buzz, it is the ish. Uh, Never fall in love with a
The
DJ.
DJ. Yes, yes. It's been an interesting ride, to say the least.
Well, Lori's teasing us a little bit
I'm
with it.
teasing a little bit.
Little something,
We
Lori, right?
That's
we
right.
are at another precipice of time here. You know, the reason we're doing the at-home edition is because of this pandemic, and
Hmm.
we're all staying safe. Otherwise, we'd be in studio, also still being safe, but
Hmm.
at home we are close to family, close to friends,
Absolutely.
um, isolating, really, not even being able to be close to friends.
Hmm.
Uh, and now we've got yet another circumstance. Um, and I just wanted to spend a moment because the world, at least our world, has been rocked a bit more by the ongoing issues of brutality against um, people of color, people in our community. And we have to acknowledge, you know, the injustice,
Absolutely.
um, the inhumanity
Hmm.
that exists here. And I just have been really on a roller coaster of emotions. And I just wonder how you feel and how the rest of the Vintage House crew is feeling about our current circumstances.
I've heard a lot of conversation about it, both on social media, on the news, and just the conversations have been um, really discouraging when it comes to the despair that we are facing as a race of people when it comes to law enforcement and how we interact with them. And I think it's important to be accountable for what it is that we do, especially when it comes to the human race. No matter what color you are, I think that we should all be considered, if nothing else, human beings. And the level of violence that we've been met with over the years with regards to law enforcement is something that definitely needs to be addressed. How we address it is what we really need to focus on, and hopefully get to a place where we can find a place of peace and exist without the fear that we continue to harbor when we encounter law enforcement. So I think it's really all about unifying as a race of people and, looking at some resolutions so that it's not something that we have to face so consistently all the time. I think it begins with us.
That's a profound statement. It does begin with us within our community. Great thoughts, concerns.
Well, I have to agree with Carla. I think it does start with us because the first thing we all do is we sort of try to figure out who to blame.
Right.
You know, so is it the system? Is it the 400 years of oppression? Is it the police?
Right.
Why aren't we mad at the black people who got killed on the South Side?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't we marching there? And these are all valid and interesting points, but none of them are solutions.
That's true.
So you can only talk about what can I do,
Right.
and that's the only thing we have control over. I can march, I can write, I can call a congressman, I can run for office.
Right.
I can
And
do
vote.
lots of things.
And be
I can make a record. You
Mhm.
know, I can protest that way. I can do lots of things. And I would agree with Carla is that we got to figure out what is ours to do
Mhm.
individually and collectively.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we just chasing our tail.
Right.
You know.
I love that because we have this wonderful program that's near and dear to our hearts. It's our platform now, and I did not want to begin the show without acknowledging and saying his name, George Floyd,
Yes.
as someone who has also died at the hands of police brutality. And so using our platform is one thing that we are starting with here tonight. But we also are here to entertain, enlighten, and to really foster the culture that we love and adore, which is house music.
Absolutely.
It is our passion, it is our heart, and it is why we have invited Carla Prather to be with us tonight because she is a staple in this genre.
And she's a Chicago native.
Yay, Chicago.
Wait, you just can't outdo Chicago. Sorry.
I know. I know.
I know other people are watching from other parts of the world. I love you guys. Appreciate you, but we have Carla here.
Chicago love.
Chicago.
You never do that right.
Full of talent, It's just how
So we do have a regular question we ask on the Vintage House Show, and that is, what high school did you attend?
I went to high school in Chicago Heights of Loam Township.
Loam.
Loam Township in Chicago Heights. Yep, I pretty much grew up in the city of Chicago until 7th grade,
Yes.
and things got pretty rough around my area, so my parents wanted to relocate to give us a better opportunity as far as our education was concerned. So we moved to the south suburbs when I was about maybe 12, and we've been out there ever since. But the majority of my roots as far as music and my experiences with house music really came from the time when I was living in the city. Mendel parties were going on, and I was too young to go.
All right. Well,
Say, what you know about Mendel parties? I don't
Yeah,
know.
we used to hear about it.
Double disco.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, the obvious question begs itself then: were you a church singer then, or a talent show, or how did you get started?
A little bit of everything. Choir first. I was a big choir kid, so I was always in choir at school. And then, of course, church was always my background. My mother made sure we were in the choir at church. If we were going to sing secular, we had to have the gospel too. So, yeah, I guess that's where the soul comes from, is from the anointing of the Lord.
All right.
What kind of church did you go to? What was the denomination?
Churches of God in Christ.
That's I'm my family's Kojic.
Oh, really? We went to
Wait.
St. James, Willie James Campbell.
Okay, I've heard it. Yeah, my immediate family left when I was a kid, and we went Baptist. But
Okay.
anyway, my whole family, my great grandfather planted the first one in Chicago, in the whole state.
That was church.
That's turn of the century.
Wow.
Kojic.
The Kojic, boy. You went to Kojic, you knew how to really get some church in,
Right.
They did everything.
Didn't they? The convocation.
All of that. See, I think house music. We should do a whole show on house music and the intersection of Kojic.
Mm-hmm.
Kojic is where you had your first bands,
Mm-hmm.
live music, and radio shows.
That's
All
right.
that started in Kojic
Yep.
before almost any other kind of church.
Really?
But
I
yeah, but,
broadcast. Yep.
oh yes,
And we used to laugh because we used to hear some of the gospel, the church band members. I'm sorry, playing secular music during the service.
uh-huh.
So we'd be like, wait a minute,
See,
that sounds
here
like it's all over my face.
I thought Baptist was
I'm
the origin.
telling you, we could do a movie about
That was,
Hmm. Really, seriously.
and now as a
Baptist,
Catholic
mm,
in the African American tradition of Catholicism, we rock out. We do a little of that in over at St. Catholic Corrections.
okay, okay.
Catholic. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Uh-huh.
So we've all got a little church in our background. Huh?
Yeah, I got a little AME too.
Okay,
AME.
okay, okay.
But yes, church has cemented many singers' starts, and so I'm glad to hear that it's also been a part of your background. And of course, I'm sure your home church is cheering you on. And
I don't know. I didn't tell him I was actually still singing secular music, but shh, don't tell.
That's a no-no in Kojic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's,
But I also
that's a no-no. Many people been kicked out of Kojic because of that. I told you we could do a whole show on this.
listen. You gotta have the skirt long and not so much makeup, and
I know. They
you
used to
don't
have
be
the skirts at the door. You could put
That's
it on
right.
if you came with pants. We're
Mhm.
gonna wrap you up.
That's
Anyway.
right. But you know she's not saved.
That's right.
right,
She doesn't have a long skirt on. But it has really formed my foundation as far as music and the
Great.
culture of church. You know what I mean? The
Yes.
discipline that comes with it as well.
and what about Bloom Township? Were you entering talent shows and
Oh yeah.
performing
Oh, yeah.
there?
Lots of them. We had a girls group called Life, Ladies in Full Effect, when I was like a junior in high school, and
That acronym.
I was hanging out with the choir kids and the band kids, so didn't quite make me super popular, but I think that it really created the foundation for a lot of what I'm able to do today as far as like harmonies and vocal production and different things like that. That foundation was very helpful. So definitely talent shows, Christmas programs, all of that. We made sure we were a part.
And so take us through the progression a little bit of what what was that breakthrough? What was that moment you said, "Wow, I am Carla Prather, and I've arrived as a singer, vocalist, performer, artist."
Gotcha. Um, when I went away to college, I went away to Alabama State University because I had the type of mom that was like, "You're gonna get your education. I don't care if you do basket weaving. You're gonna have a plan A and plan B." So I went away to school and failed horribly because I was hanging out with the music kids as opposed to being focused on academics. So when I came home from school, my mother, of course, stayed on top of me going back to school when I came home, but I still wanted to pursue my musical interests, which led me to meeting Joe Render, Timmy McAllister, and Jerry McAllister. And so we started recording house music. That was really the first house music that I'd ever recorded. And then from there, it just began to birth a lot of other relationships through that connection with like Maurice Joshua, Terry Hunter, Mike Dunn. We used to all hang out down on Kinsey Avenue and do a lot of recording, a lot of writing, a lot of sessions. It was like the early days of Motown, at that time. And I was just really a young vocalist coming in and not really having a whole lot of experience, but a lot of the framework for what would eventually be my career started there. The first song I think I ever professionally recorded was called Ask Me. It was on Music 101 with, I think that one was with Playing for the City actually. And then Maurice and I recorded a song for his label, and it just kind of took off from there. And it's been a very interesting ride in returning to some of those guys for projects right now. You know what I mean?
That's that's hot because we've got a little synopsis of that career. Talk to us about the time with Mr. Ali.
Mm, a lot of that time was a blur. I partied so hard, but Mr. Ali was really the brainchild of Jerry McAllister, who was our band director, and then also with the input of Vic Lavender and Dave Risquet, who's the groove guru, of course. And what Jerry really wanted to do was bring the live elements of house music back to the
Yeah,
stage, and so that was really the birth of Mr. Ali. We did a lot of live shows down at the Green Dolphin on
yeah,
Thursday nights. A lot of us didn't go to work Friday morning because we partied so hard. But I mean, it was really a time where the live elements of house was really supported by the community here. You know, Thursday nights were like jam packed. It was an era where we were able to really get the music that we produced ourselves out to the masses, and then also to cover some of the classic house music that many of the Chicago house music, I should say, house heads have grown to love. You know, Dajay performed with us a lot.
hmm
Um, Nicole Mitchell, who recently passed, may she rest in peace, performed with us a lot when we were doing the district as well. So we had a lot of artists from local artists come and perform with us, as well as some very famed artists. Um, I believe during that time we were really trying to give a lot of other artists exposure other than myself and Dajay as well. So I think that was maybe a span of maybe 4 or 5 years that we were doing the live elements, and we were also recording as well. So we had a few releases, as I see you have one, a couple of them up now.
yeah. Cast your spell and rainy day.
Both on West End. So we were able to do a lot of recording and releasing as well as live shows as well.
I remember vividly a show down in Grant Park. It was
Hmm.
probably for Taste of Chicago
Uh huh. Uh
that
huh.
you guys performed there with
Nice.
great, great audience.
So you've been around a while, I see, Kevin.
Well, so as you mentioned, Jerry and I were actually college roommates, and I was providing some uh, support for Jerry as
Okay.
he was an artist on DJ International, and he
Hmm.
and I were part of a DJ crew
Wow.
as we attended University of Illinois.
Okay.
It's a long story. We want to hear about you,
Okay.
um, but yes, I've been around, and I am not at all new to anything that you've done. And as Lori and Lauren can also attest, we're fans. We're fans.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Oh yeah, big fans.
Much appreciated, guys. Much.
And so, Poi Dog Pondering, if you wouldn't mind talking to us a little bit about what that experience has been
Oh my goodness, that's my musical family. I've been employed all 20 plus years, I would say. And Frank Oral, who is the head of Boy Dog Pondering, is one of my musical mentors. Um, one of the things that I've always said is that my learning to perform live in front of large audiences really came from my experiences with Boy Dog. We have a huge fan base that follows us a lot of the places that we go when we perform here and abroad. And, we really have grown to become a really tight, close knit family. There are, oh goodness, 13 plus of us. And so I'm sure you can imagine with the number and the size of the group, we would have to be pretty close to be able to coexist.
Oh
You
yeah.
absolutely.
know, but our fan base is amazing. They are usually right on top of whenever we play. Like we had a show coming up this year that I think sold out in about 9 minutes. So our fan base is super supportive, and Frank is a mastermind when it comes to creating the music that people actually can appreciate and want to hear. But my experience in Ploy Dog has really been a phenomenal one. And like I said, just learning to perform in front of a live audience, learning the elements of a song and what it really takes to make a song a successful song. And we all learn from each other, but everyone in the band is a professional musician in their own right. And so it's really a pleasure for me to be a part of such a phenomenal group of people who play very confidently and are very effective at what they do. So it's been, I want to say, maybe 22 years since I've been in the band, and we're still.
Oh, that's great. How often do you guys perform?
We usually perform maybe 3 to 4 times a year,
Okay.
because, like I said, our fan base is pretty big, and we want to kind of give them the opportunity to pretty much catch their breath before the next big hurrah. But when we get together, it's definitely a party. We were we're supposed to play River Edge this year. I think Snoop Dogg was also on the bill. But
Mhm.
of course, with the pandemic, a lot of our shows this year got canceled. We had about 4 or 5 shows this year out of state where we were going to be doing a small tour, but all got canceled. So
Wow.
we're all just kind of, trying to cool our heels right now and looking forward to the next season when we're able to all get back together.
Is their recording still ongoing as well?
Yep, that's the process right now that we're going through is Frank is pretty much putting together some material for us to collaborate, do some writing. I do some writing for the band as well. So that's the goal during this time to pretty much get more new material prepared to release.
All right. And so is the material, is it classified in a particular genre, or would you say it's more broad, universal?
A lot of people categorize us as an alternative band
Yeah.
because you'll catch us playing some folk music. We did a remake of "That's the Way Love Is" by Ten City,
Yeah.
the live string section and everything. So you get a little taste of everything with Boy Dog. There's some soul in there. We do some old covers of like some David Bowie tunes, or we might do some Beatles old covers. So you get a little variety with Boy Dog that you wouldn't normally get with the average band, with a full horn section and strings. And then we also have the House of Maddox who dance for us with Ronnie Love as well. So you
Nice.
get a real show when you come see Boy Dog.
Well, what? Yeah, I know you're going to ask that, but I'm curious about. Do you have anything lined up yet
With Boy
with the
Dog.
pan? Yeah, I mean, is there anything that you even beyond the pandemic that you could next year or later this year or sometime?
Yeah, I think with a lot of artists, we're all going to be playing catch up with our schedules because
Yeah,
whatever we were unable to do this year, we're probably going to try to book for next year, same day and time, or
yeah, yeah.
around the same date and time. Because, with the whole live element of music right now, everything's just at a standstill, you know. I think there's some discussion about maybe doing a virtual performance with the band, but again, with social distancing, I think we're really going to have to figure out how that might work, with getting us together. But it is in the works because we definitely want to keep our fans fed, basically. We
Yes.
want to make sure that they get what they're looking for out of us. And then Frank also has some side projects, the Morning Doves project as well. Each of us have our own individual, like solo projects that we're pursuing right now as well.
That that is great to hear because um, we appreciate what you're doing. Obviously, we appreciate what you're doing independently, but certainly have a love for the band, both Poidoc Pondering and Mr. Ali, um,
Absolutely.
which, you know, in both cases, the shows have been phenomenal that I've been able to
Thank you.
attend. And so, um, collaboration has been something that has certainly been ongoing with you. And so, one of your collaborators is actually joining us by phone.
Nice. I'm like, who would this
Who,
be?
who do we have with Carla?
Can you hear me, brother? Can you hear me now? Brother, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Barely.
All right.
And
How you doing? This is Byron.
Byron.
Byron Stingley has joined.
Ah. What's up, Byron?
Not much. How's everybody doing?
Good, good, good.
Doing great. Nice to hear your voice. Silky smooth.
Glad to hear all your voices. I hate that I couldn't join Kevin McFall for his barbecue this past Memorial Day.
Well, as Carla was just sharing, with everything being rescheduled, mark your calendar for next Memorial Day 2021. Byron Stingley.
Are you just saying that because we were
Okay.
going to call Lori Lightfoot on you?
Ooh.
Barbecue?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I lifted up the grill cover and I saw Lori Lightfoot staring from in the grill.
Through the window.
Don't do
Have her
that.
suit on.
Wow.
I just love the memes. I just can't get enough of the Lori Lightfoot memes.
Oh, I love
Love
it too.
you, Mayor Lightfoot.
Love
Thank you
her.
for keeping us safe.
Absolutely.
But we're excited to have Byron Stingley for this segment of the Vintage House 10 Critical Collaborators of Carla Prather. And so this list is in no particular order. Quentin Harris, talk to us about Quentin really quick.
Me or Byron?
Quentin Harris, you talking to me or Carla?
Both.
Go ahead, Byron. Give us
Quentin Harris is a great producer. He's worked with people from Donnie to Monique Bingham, and he's worked with Alternate, myself, Byron Stingley, and we got a chance to work with him, collaborate with him on a Carla project, which was really fun. No More Love to Give.
Tell us about No More Love to Give, Carla.
This was another of Byron's creations, and we had wanted to get something to Quentin that we knew he would be passionate about working on. And as soon as we sent it to him, I think he was flying at the time, and he started working on it on the plane. So at that point, I figured we were doing good. But the record came out, it did really well, much to the credit of Byron as the songwriter, of course, and Quentin, who produced it. And we actually were able to get together when I was in New York doing a show around that time. And, we were able to get together in person because we had been working remotely. And Quentin's a great guy, really good person, and really fun to hang out with in the middle of a snowstorm. Because that's what it was. Yep. So.
And we got Jelly Bean Benitez.
Yeah, we worked with Jelly Bean on a song. Him and Marlon D on a song called "Secret and Lies," and that came out on Jelly Bean Music. It made quite a bit of noise at the time, and just having a chance to work with him and his history. A lot of people may or may not know that Jelly Bean, quote unquote, signed Madonna when he signed her to a production deal, and some people say he's responsible for her career, and he basically was almost pretty much able to retire off of Madonna, but he loved house music, he loves dance music, he was a DJ at Studio 54, and he just has a great legacy. He's been executive producer of movies such as Carlito's Way, and he has his hand in a lot of different things, and so just to work with somebody who's just a great business mind like that was really good. He owns a lot of publishing on a lot of different publishing entities. I know one of my friends signed to his publishing company, and he got 2 of her songs on Janet Jackson. So he's a real, a real heavyweight, and somebody good to be involved with.
Well, we're going to fly through the list a little faster. We've already talked about Jerry McAllister. Also, should have been on the list, his brother Timmy Mack, another friend of Vintage House.
Absolutely.
Vic Lavender. Maurice Joshua. Stop me at any time.
Yeah, Maurice.
Maurice, Grammy Award-winning Maurice Joshua.
That's right.
Yeah, Maurice recently put out, he found an old DAT of some material that we had recorded back in the day when I was 12. And he actually put it out. So it's on this 90s Reloaded release that's on TrackSource right now. Mike Dunn is on there as well, and he's actually rapping on one of the songs. So
wow,
might want to go check that one out. It's called Summer Fever. But that was something that was recorded early on in my career. And so it's kind of funny to listen to it now and kind of see how I've grown as a vocalist. But yeah, it's out on TrackSource. It's called 90s Reloaded, produced by Maurice Joshua.
We love that. Your ability to be reflective of your career. This is a Vintage House moment. I'm getting a little.
Are you getting sentimental on us?
Terry
I'm just
Hunter.
gonna start crying.
Let's get over Byron, but I do want to say that Byron has been a mentor in the business for me for a very long time, and
no doubt.
he puts up with a lot of my stuff, you know, and
Uh-oh.
excellent songwriter. He puts me back. He puts me back where I need to be, though. You know, but he's a super supportive and is always really giving me the advice that I need to be successful in the business. So I value his advice. Um, Terry Hunter, same thing. You know, I've been knowing and working with Terry for a very long time. Um, we've cut a couple of songs and released them as well. So, you know, Chicago, the music business is not very big, you know, and to know the heavy hitters in the game has really been a blessing to me. And I would consider Byron, Terry, all of these guys to be really heavy hitters in the game. Nick Santillan, goodness, that's a blast from the past as well. Um, yeah, Nick was one of the first producers that I worked with early on in the game, and goodness, it kind of fails me right now what the name of the song is that we recorded, but I do remember um, early on working with him. And of course, moving forward to today with DJ Immaculate, who is the producer of Never Fall in Love with a DJ, which has really been an interesting ride so far. It's only been out maybe, what, a couple of weeks with that?
I gotta let the cat out of the bag though. When Byron was on the show, he brought the rough mix and debuted it on here on the Vintage House Show.
Not the rough mix, Byron.
Yeah, the rough mix. You gotta try it out and see if you got something. Kevin is Kevin McFall it can be, you know, he's a house fan, but he's has great taste in music. And when I looked over and saw him bobbing his head, I said maybe we might have something.
Okay, gotcha. Kevin, you gave us the stamp.
So diplomatic,
I think that night we had him.
Byron, yes, I think we declared it at that moment that it was going to be the 2020 summer house anthem. We didn't know there was going to be a pandemic, but
right.
Yeah, we didn't know summer was not. Yeah, and I think we had Dave Brisquet in the house that night, and Gershon Jackson and Dwayne Buford from the group Ministry, and I don't know that. I was waiting. You had me like in the closet or something. You had to like give me access. I couldn't hear music or nothing. I felt like I was on the Maury show, like waiting in one of those rooms. I didn't know what I was going to come out to. But
in the green room.
Did she discuss Boy Dog or anything like that as well?
We did a little bit about Boy. I was telling him that we redid what is it? That's the Way Love Is. And Byron actually performs it sometimes with us too.
Oh my gosh, that show I would have to see.
Oh, they love it. They love to see him coming because, you know, being the originator of the song, and it's a huge song for Boy's fan base. So when Byron comes, it's a real treat.
We all started at the same.
Go ahead, Lori.
We all started at the same studio. Boy Dog used to record down, and when we had a studio in Kinsey, they would always be recording there, and that's how we kind of all like met and came together years ago.
I think it's time for a virtual concert.
That's what I was gonna say too, Lori. We're gonna host one of those, and I think our first virtual concert can be with the guests we have tonight. Oh, but wait, the doorbell's ringing again.
Oh wow. This feels like Christmas.
That magical chime means we've been joined by another collaborator. This time we've got the producer of Never Fall in Love with the DJ, DJ Immaculate. He's trying to figure out his audio.
In his video.
So I'm gonna close out. So Vintage House Crew is now one of your top collaborators as well.
You just said one interview and we get to be in the top 10. See, that's what happens.
I love how you guys added yourselves. I love it. Absolutely.
What's up?
Woohoo!
So there he is. Eric, you're on with Carla.
Carla.
with
What's up,
Byron
Immaculate?
Prize.
and with
Kind of snuck me in the back door of the club.
Yeah.
and DJ Lori Branch and Lauren Lowry.
What's up, Lauren and Lori? How are you?
Hey, hey, Immaculate, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Good to see
Nice to hear you.
Yes, good to see you guys. Can't wait till we can like hang out in person.
Right.
That's right. Congratulations on the hit. I love it.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you guys for supporting it.
Yes, yes.
We've been talking a lot about it. Let's I got it queued up here.
Carla, I thought it was appropriate I'd throw this on real quick for this.
Yeah, I was gonna save it. Y'all keep leaving me out with the nervous t-shirts. That's okay. I'm gonna save mine. It's okay.
And those are nice. I gotta get me one. You gotta get me a nervous t-shirt. What's up? I would rock it.
Yeah, we've been neglected on the Vintage House Show.
I'm telling you. What's up?
It's just going around.
I have no control. Me and Carla just luckily got Michael Weiss to Byron as well. Michael Weiss sent us out some gifts since, you know, I guess that's a thank you for bringing the project, you know.
Right, right.
Well, speaking of the project, I got a little bit of it to tease out for the audience tonight.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it once before on the Vintage House Show, but here it is again, and all over the airways and mix sets. Never Fall in Love with the DJ featuring Carla Prather, DJ Immaculate, written by Byron Stingley. Let's go.
I can't hear it.
I heard the beginning of it and it went away.
All right. I'm over here jamming, but obviously I didn't set up our Zoom session effectively.
Ah, it's going again.
I'm playing my version.
She's like she's got her own party going on.
Kevin? We have warring DJ party.
All right.
It's a competition.
I've got my money on Lori on that one.
Thank you.
Go, Lori. Go, Lori.
I'm gonna have to stick with you
How's
guys.
There we go.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can. It keeps coming in and out.
Yeah, it's going out. We can't hear it, Lori.
You can't?
Anything happening?
No.
Y'all not bopping. You ain't hearing it, right?
No, it's cutting in and out just a little bit.
Track
All right.
source.
Yeah.
Beatport. Buy this record.
Buy the record, and I will promise you, I'm gonna do a live set after that first track that I'm gonna play. So stay tuned, and you'll hear it for real. Okay?
Thank you, Lori. Thank
We
you for the
appreciate
love.
it.
Yes, we do.
Appreciate you guys. Make the music. I'll play it.
Hey, I love it. Much
This has
appreciated.
absolutely been one of our, well, I'm just saying this because I'm biased, but this has been an epic show so far. Carla, please tell us about what else is happening for you right now. I mean, this is a #1 song, Never Fall in Love with the DJ, on the Track Source Soulful House chart.
And it was a #1 single overall on the site too.
I think that was Thursday. It was, yeah.
That's
We're hoping to keep the promotions going for it, and you know, continuing to share. You know, we all need something to heal, to help with the healing right now, and so hopefully this will get people to dance in and kind of keeping their minds off of things. But I have a few releases that are coming out in the early part of summer. These releases right now I was considering to be my spring releases for Carla Prather Music, so I currently have a record out with Randy Peterson called Let Go on Quantize with DJ Spin.
Yes.
And another one called Listen with DJ SGZ, who's a producer out of South Africa. That is also, both songs have been charting as well. So I've been grateful for the response of the spring singles. And so, and going into summer, I have a release called Real Good Feeling, which you're going to hopefully be able to debut tonight. with the Funk Lovers and Must 3. It's coming out on Remy Music early summer. And then I have a few more releases that are still in the works. One of them is called Unstoppable with Seb Sikowski. He's out of Purple Music and Salted Music. A song called Get Up with Ralph Session. And I wrote a song with Sylvia Zaragoza called Keep Your Head Up, kind of in light of what's been going on with the pandemic, which should be released as well. And I've also been doing a great deal of backup for 10 City, the new 10 City album that's coming up.
New 10 City coming up.
It's coming.
Wow.
Yes, I've been keeping busy.
I lost count.
I'm like, and I think she's mentioned she had another job, like, with a school or something. I'm like, what? Does this woman sleep?
I'm telling you, it's been crazy because I am a teacher. I teach 7th grade language arts.
Wow.
So my students are so funny. They're like, Miss P, nobody knows who you are. I'm like, Google me, okay? I'm somebody.
Okay. You don't know who I am.
So now they're on my Instagram, like checking out the records and stuff. It's so funny, but I really miss the classroom because it's a really good opportunity to make a difference. And not having the students in front of us sometimes can be stifling for a teacher.
Yeah.
So I do miss that interaction with the students. But on the flip side, it has given me an opportunity to be more accessible for my music career itself. So God is good. He's working it out for me. He's working it out for me. But this record is really taking on a life of its own. The Never Should Have Fallen in Love with the DJ. And the stories that have come behind it, I'm sure, Immaculate, you've heard them. I've gotten inboxes from people like, what's your deal with DJs? I'm like, I didn't write the song. Slow down.
Just sing it.
But it's been a great ride, and I'm looking forward to being able to continue to push the record and get it out there. We want it to be a classic, and that's the idea. So we're grateful for the success that it's had already.
I have a question. I think that everybody wants to know, how do you get a song to be number one? Like, what's different about this? Is it the time? Is it the track? Is it the production? Is it sort of a luck? What was the magical formula?
Is Byron still there? Did we lose Byron?
I'm still here. It was you, Lori. I was just a kid, and I had a crush on you, and you just ignored me that one night.
Yeah, right. I don't think so. Good answer, though. I like that.
That was good.
Yeah.
So funny. No, but I just think it's a relatable topic, I think that with anyone who has a passion for what they do, something's going to fall by the wayside. And I think in music, especially with the DJs, they love their music,
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's like a funny story about something that happens in real life so often. And that when Byron first called me and told me the idea over the phone that he had for the song, I immediately was like, oh, that's definitely that's gonna catch, because I think like most people, that male or female, most people, whether you're a DJ or really deep into your music, at some point you've had a relationship where the other person looked at how focused you were on your music or your records as like another woman or another man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just something that it's just a real thing that happens. You know what I mean? And it was written in a very witty way.
Mm-hmm.
Carla delivered it, and then we had our original version that me and Byron and my other partner Shabazz Curtis worked on, and so we were in love with that. Michael Weiss was in love with that, but then they went and got DJ Spin and Real Soul to add more to the package. So I think, to answer your question, Lori, I think it's a matter of all of those factors. It's like a great written song, great performance. You got multiple versions of the record that some DJs like this one better, some DJs like this one better, but they're buying all of them. They're buying the dub versions. So it just really came together.
Well, it's like any relationship. A lot of times, somebody feels like somebody might put their job, the other person may put their job before them, or they might put in some relationships, people put their kids before their significant other. It sort of relates because on a lot of levels, a lot of people always feel like something else is before them. Like, somebody might, you put your mother before me, or or your car, whatever it is, whatever your hobby or your, you put your friends before me. And so everybody feels like that on some levels, but, my nickname back in the day was Friend Zone. So all my buddies were DJs and, all my buddies were DJs and I would get the brunt of it, like where the girls would be complaining to me about how much they love their records and how much, they go to the party and they like, I went to the party, Jesse was DJing and he never even like looked at me, and he had me come like, oh, he's working, he's working, he's at work, or, so I was always the guy that the girls would complain to, and I'm a good friend too, because I think a couple times I could have been like, oh, he's so bad, but I never did that. So
this is a good point, because what it also brings to mind is the story that's being weaved into the song. You don't have that same opportunity with a lot of tracks, right, that have been known to be as much a part of the house movement as a song. But the collaboration here between the three of you and the writing, the storytelling that has gone on, I think this is an important point about shelf life and ensuring that there's an opportunity for this song to really go beyond. I think, Carla, you said it. We want this to be a classic. Is how and I think you've got all the right elements.
Yes, I agree. And I think people are hungry for stories right now. So to do that in a time like this, where you clearly there's a lot of heart and soul and thought, put into what you were doing with not only the content but the production, story. People are receiving it rightfully so. Congrats on that, because I felt that way about it. I was like, look at this. This is great.
I got to give a lot of credit to Byron. Like Byron really, not only did he come up with the concept, not only was it his idea to have Carla be the singer of it, but like he really executive produced it too and put the whole thing together. And I mean, I applaud Byron for like he's played the back with this song quite a bit and let it be Immaculate and Carla Prather and played humble, and because that's the kind of dude he is. But like, people don't realize how much he really had to do with putting this record together. So
can you talk about the process of how it got to Nervous?
You want to take that, B?
Well, I was, a lot of people know I was signed to Nervous Records. Did 2 full albums with them, and had Kim English signed to them. I actually, at one point in time, had a label, Deep Soul, with Mike Dunn through Nervous Records. And I have had maintained a great relationship with Michael Weiss, not just business-wise, friendship-wise. And the one thing that I do know about Nervous is that I believe that Michael Weiss is a very smart business guy at Nervous. And when I get certain records that I think might have a potential, you never know nowadays, but it might just marketing and things like that. And so it's a shame that a pandemic going on right now, and that's the most important thing. And we try to do music to make people feel good. But I just called Michael Weiss and I said, I have a record that I think under the right circumstances that could possibly, be a record like when they play records in the beach of Spain for the summer and in Tenerife and all these different spots in Europe, at the festivals in England. I think we have a record that can get played at the festivals and with the right momentum build to maybe go that extra. And so I didn't want to just put out a record. I mean, I have a label myself that I could have put it out, but I was like, if you can do the right thing by it, because honestly, I'm 2 people on the phone who he talked about back burner, but a lot of people don't know Immaculate's history. I've known of him since he was like a teenager, and he's worked very hard. A lot of people think that he's come from out of nowhere, but the truth be told, He's produced people like Ben One. He's worked with like K Fox and No ID, and he's worked with a lot of different people uh, over the years. He's produced hip hop. He's had number one records at pop radio here in Chicago, and Carla's been around for not I know how she gets them, but Carla's been around. She started like as a young teenager herself, working with Maurice Joshua, doing demos and things like that. And I really don't feel like either one of them have received their just due over the years in there. And I wanted this to be on the label that could at least get it, if possible, if it does develop legs and builds momentum, they can get it to the next level. So we'll see what happens. It's still early, and we'll keep trying. Like Carla's somebody who I believe in, and I've been in the studio with a lot of singers. I mean, Maurice Joshua had me working with people like Mariah Carey, and in the studio, Carla's incredible. Like even backgrounds. I shouldn't say this, but like anyhow, I'll leave that alone. But people are like, man, those like we did one song and everybody was talking about the girl parts, and the parts that they thought were girl parts was L, and then we like did a switch to play tricks on people's mind, and some of the other parts was Carla. I'll leave that alone. But
that's the funny
she's
part.
just really been.
Mel Boogie is like the soprano, okay? He's the soprano of the crew.
Okay.
I could do the baritone stuff too. Give me the Mahalia Jackson stuff. I'm good.
Range.
Byron,
of range.
But she has a great voice, and she's just really quick and really good in the studio, and brings good energy in the studio. And I think like even records that we did, like Celebrate Me, that did really well. That's Carla in the background. Songs like They Can't Understand It, where people were calling me saying, "Oh, these backgrounds are incredible."
Yes.
And it was Carla on the backgrounds along with L. And so I just really want to see her. So anyhow, I get long-winded. You got to start the music like they do on those awards.
That's okay.
We appreciate you, Byron.
Byron,
We love you, Byron.
And you know what?
Love you all too.
We need to be able to get one of those sneak peeks in one of those studio sessions down the road.
Yes.
Okay, that would be great.
Would you allow Vintage House to come in and like sort of be a fly on the wall in a studio session?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be great.
We'll keep the music
I'll
out
have
of the...
tell L to mind his manners that day. He likes to like signify and crack jokes.
Always watch
Man, Byron and Elle in the studio together are a problem.
We don't want no problems on the Vintage House show, but we do want to be there. And before I forget, Carla has been so gracious to bring along an exclusive debut opportunity. I've been trying to find a way to ensure that I could play the audio correctly. I'm going to cross my fingers here and hope that this works. But Carla, set the song up for us, if you would.
Absolute. So this is my next release that is coming out on Remy Music. It's produced by the Funk Lovers and Must 3. It's a remake of the song Real Good Feeling by Archie Bell and the Drills. And again, like I said, it's coming out early, summer I was told. So it will be coming out shortly. So I'm hoping that we get a great response from it. And it's called Real Good Feeling. This is the Sunset remix, I think, of the Sunset mix.
All right, I'm going to mute you all for a second and see if this helps us achieve the experience, the debut of It's a Real Good Feeling. That didn't work.
Crazy when trying to work out all the kinks with, virtual broadcasts. It's just kind of difficult, It's not just you. We're all struggling with it.
We're
Country
being
Bell
very
and the Drells. Is that the group? That's the '60s group from Houston, Texas, with the Tighten Up, right?
Byron.
The cartoon cover for the album.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I can't wait to hear it. Sorry we couldn't hear it now.
Yep, I got one more option for.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, I'm speaking on behalf of me and Lori right now, Carla. When that DJ promo comes out,
Oh, absolutely.
You got my email. I'm sure you got Lori's email.
Yeah, please do.
I'll send it over to you, Eric. You already know. I'll send it to you.
Please.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm DJing more now virtual than I did live. It's just
That's clear, right?
Lori, you've been burning them blazing up, though. I've seen you.
I know, it's crazy.
Lori. Do your thing. I love it.
You know what? It's kind of easier now.
Yeah, I know.
I don't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's a great opportunity. I think you mentioned it's a silver lining kind of in this pandemic, that artists have an opportunity to go deeper in their art and find ways to express themselves and have time to concentrate.
Absolutely. All things considered, of course, because you never want to make light of the tragedy that it is brought
Absolutely
about.
Not. Yeah.
And I really, I empathize with those who are really suffering through it, may it be financially or whatever the case may be. But for those who are actually able to survive it and still thrive, whatever opportunities we can find to come together or to share, it's fulfilling, And so I've been enjoying the lives.
Me too.
I've been visiting from everybody.
There's been some great sets. There's been some events too.
Mm-hmm.
It has been. Kevin, you got something for us?
Not yet.
Yeah.
We're working.
Yeah, we're working.
I think that the idea that art can thrive in this situation and that some people can do even better, for me that's a call. That's your your spiritual call, like to whom much is given, much is required. So if you've been given the grace and the time to do something, give.
Absolutely.
All right. Can you guys hear it?
Yes.
Yep.
Funk Lovers. The Elba Sunset Mix. Featuring Carla Prather. Vintage House exclusive.
Get the taste of it. Teaser.
Real good feeling. right.
Yeah,
Gave
so
me a real good feeling.
Yes.
Sounds great. Sounds great as always.
thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congrats.
Thank you. So that's the Elba Sunset mix. It's not the actual original because we're kind of trying to save that one for the launch, of course. But there are about 3 or 4 mixes in the package. Black Terry has been playing over at Arise as well, so he's a big contributor of that project and that relationship as well. So big ups to Black Terry on that
Black
one.
Terry, that's our buddy.
Yep, yep, yep. So
Fellow broadcaster on NUR Street Beat.
yeah. So looking forward to that release. And again, like I said, I have a few more that are coming out, and of course a few that are coming in. So hoping that they will be a success as well.
Well, I have no doubts that 2020 is the year of Carla.
It is.
Won't he do it? Yes, he will.
And immaculate.
And immaculate, yes. Oh,
It started.
I'm just a guest. This is about Carla. I'm just a guest. What you say, Carla?
But we're going to be working on something too, right, Immaculate?
Absolutely. We definitely got a follow up that just doesn't exist yet. But it's in another plane. It's in another plane. We just got to pull it from wherever it is in the ether right now.
Exactly.
And Immaculate started out with us last year in 2019 on the show.
Yes, had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good year too.
Me and John Pierce came through.
Yeah, my brother John, love him.
I am. Yes, sir. Chicago is rich, right?
Yes, it is. I got one complaint.
What is that, Lord?
Here's my complaint. On your list of top 10 producers, I see no women producers up there. So we gotta change. We gotta change that. You know why? So you're gonna work with me.
Hey,
I'm claiming it now.
I love it.
Lauren, did you hear that?
I heard it.
All right. I'm claiming it now.
Just a point of clarification, however, it wasn't top 10 list. It was a list of 10 collaborators.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Let's work with. Your name.
Go there though.
Yeah, we'll get you on there.
So the women's rights kicking in, right, Lori?
She gonna work with me. Lord
That's
Grant.
fine,
I look forward to that. Maybe I get an executive production credit on that.
You might.
That's right,
Of
Lori.
course you would, Kevin. I love you.
Hey.
Love you more. So we're coming on the downside of the Vintage House Show. The Carla episode with Never Fall in Love with the DJ and
So much fun.
guest Byron Stingley, DJ Immaculate. We've got lots of your fans, Carla, checking in. Everyone
Oh, yeah.
from Kevin Westerfield, Andrew Jones, George Montgomery,
Hey.
Leslie McKinney, Kevin Sally. They all say, hey.
We say, hey, y'all.
That's right.
Love and support on the album. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Lots of DJs checking in, and Fat Cat and Talitha, it's their anniversary, so happy anniversary to you guys. Make sure you pick up the records. All kinds. Brett Morrison, E Smooth. They're all checking in.
Yeah, yes. Hey, everybody, and we're so grateful for the response with the record. We thank you for getting it finally to #1, right?
Yes.
Yes.
As of today, so thank you to everybody for playing
Hard
it.
work pays off. Hard work pays off. And
Yeah.
You know what, Carla? I personally thank you for delivering what you did on this record. It's great to like see an idea come from nothing and get executed so great. So
I appreciate that. And then too, I want to also again give some of that credit to Byron, because Byron even did vocal production in the studio, like E-Man was saying. He was very instrumental in the way the song was conveyed. So the dream team is what we're being called, right, Immaculate?
there you go. There you go. We got more. I probably can't say in detail, and I think the big guy got off the line. Byron's not with us anymore.
No.
But we got other material that we've collaborated on that's already in the can too. That we've played it. I guess we've played it. We've played it in our live streams a little bit.
Yeah.
Terry Hunter has, Wayne Williams has, I have, and Glenn Underground has too. But we collaborated on a record called "Be Free," that is for the 10 City Project. That's not out. I can't wait to share that song with the world because I feel really good about that one too.
Well,
Looking forward to it.
El Boogie on the backgrounds on that as well with Carla.
El Boogie is another one of our quiet storms. When in the studio, he comes in and again he takes the high stuff and I stick with the low stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that high never at the end of Never Fall in Love was all El Boogie.
Wow.
That's my
You heard it here on the Vintage House Show.
Hey, so we want to give big love to El Boogie for doing the backup there, and too with the projects that we do with Byron. El Boogie is very, very instrumental.
Definitely.
We love him.
Shout out to El Boogie. Got it. You know,
I got a shout out
booking. Yes, here, El Boogie. Come on through.
on that one too. Carla, you haven't met him yet, but I got to shout out my guy Shannon Chambers on the free record too, because we actually co-produced that. Like he did the original version of like the skeleton of the track and sent it to me, and then me and Byron took it from there and we did all the bass, the guitar, and the horns, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Isn't that something? So with big love to him as well.
Absolutely.
A great project. So hopefully we'll keep it at number one. You know,
Yes.
so many thanks to WNUR Vintage House. We love you guys for always being supportive. You know, always, and hopefully the sky is the limit for us. You know, with the support that we've been getting, I don't see why not. You know?
I agree. It's gonna take off even more. I mean, I see this charting all over the place, and we will do our best to promote, because we believe in you.
That's right.
We appreciate our Chicago family. We appreciate
The gift of this music, the culture, all of it is what we're here for.
Absolutely.
And certainly Lori, who has been hot on her live sets. I'm coming back. I did a little tease from 17 years ago.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
And I'm just getting my chops back. So
Now, hey, no time like the present, right?
I'll be putting some live sets together and incorporating this great music as well. And my mixes, I got a little better production going than I do sometimes with the show.
Okay, Kevin. I'm gonna look forward to that, and I'm gonna look forward to this virtual party. I mean, this virtual show that I think Laura you mentioned.
We're gonna make it happen.
You heard that email.
Come on, coach it. Come on now.
You know it, don't you, Laura?
Yes, I do.
Hey, Auntie, from Nikki Divine,
Nikki.
LaShawn, checked in.
Hey, I want to also just, if we could, Craig Lobster's dealing with a little situation. Mom in the ER, they having a tough time. So we could just all send a collective prayer for Craig. You know, he's one of our legendaries, and you know, he's been doing a great job taking care of her. She's having a rough time, so prayers to Craig.
Praying for positive outcome there.
Yes, sir.
Carla, I just wanted to point out that a few people have already gone out during the show and bought everything. Okay, we got Brett Morrison's on the line. He's like, I just bought 9 tracks. Arliss Ball is on the line. Celeste Alexander's on the line. So folks are just out there buying stuff right now. So we love it.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We want to keep it in the hands of as many as we can, you know, and we hope that everyone shares, you know, continue to share the information, share the love. Much appreciated.
Your early collaborator, Timmy McAllister, is on.
Timmy owes me a song, so
All right, Timmy. Carla's coming to collect, brother.
Yes, he owes me a song, so.
Black Widow, what's up? Shout out to you.
What's up?
Yeah.
So, we have a little interesting thing we do on what we call the Mega Presents Philosophical Grooves edition of Vintage House, and it consists of asking a question of our guest, one of a philosophical nature, because we get a little deep. We go deep.
Okay.
And your question, Carla, has to do with this concept of reincarnation. right? It's some believe it exists, that we come back as something else. The question to you is, if, let's say, you were to be reincarnated,
Okay.
what or who would you be upon your return? There is no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Okay,
I would
Will.
probably have to say Maya Angelou.
Wow.
Because I met her. I work for Commons Foundation, Common Ground Foundation.
Yes.
And he did a fundraiser where she was actually one of the guest speakers, and I had an opportunity to meet her, and she was just electric. You know, her spirit, her knowledge and wisdom, her ability to convey information without being. She was very insightful, I should say, and so those are some of the qualities that I would like to have myself. And so, if I could, I would more than likely return as Maya Angelou, with all the wisdom and the grace, and you know, yeah.
I love that, because you took it to the level of explaining why you would want to be reincarnated as a Maya Angelou. So thank you for that, and thank you for spending time with us on the Vintage House Show.
Thank you for having me, guys. I was so excited because someone had asked me a couple of times, like, "Have you been down to see Lori?" And I was like, "No, she hasn't invited me yet."
See, you know what? No, it's not for lack of trying. I was like, every week we're like, well, we got to get some singers. We got to get Carla in here. I'm telling you, we're talking about it.
Okay.
So Kevin beat me to the punch, but you was on my short list. I was
Well,
like, I got to
think
get
I'm
you
Lori.
in here.
We are a crew. We are the Vintage House crew.
That's right.
And so, you know, this is all love.
We're going to have a different show. I want to invite you back so we can talk about Kojic and gospel and an intersection of church and house music. I think it's going to be a very hot topic. You know, we can play some tracks. We do it in the studio, so we can play some tracks and we can hear the influence and, you know, talk about some of the forerunners. Yeah, I think it'd be great. What do you think, Kevin?
Pull out some gospel house, right?
Oh, you know.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
We're going to do it.
Awesome.
Right, we got a plan for our next meeting.
Yes, ma'am. You got it.
Tune it in.
You might be in the studio.
Yeah, we have to immaculate.
You might be with us.
Okay.
Right, I was going to say, or you might be producing one of the tracks that we play, one of the.
That's right.
There you go.
Just one other fact here. This was also the first Vintage House Show broadcast on YouTube Live. Ooh. So you're making history all over the place, Carla.
Hey, I just have to say, won't he do it? Because for me, it's all about the blessings of God and the grace of God.
Amen.
You know, so that's just who I am.
I'm with you.
Know, but I appreciate you all with the support and just really getting the word out there for us with the record. You know, I'm sure we are all equally grateful. You know, and we want to continue the relationship. You know, with the coming releases. You know, we want to make sure that we come back and visit and break them with you guys and make sure that we're on the same page at all times. You know, the support matters to me. You know, and I appreciate you guys at Vintage House.
So what? Leslie Taylor asked, can we send a link to the music? Maybe we could just tell people where they can purchase the music, and then we can provide, you know, some kind of link. That would be great. I know it's on TrackSource. Is there any other place?
It's everywhere. You can any streaming service that you have. I mean, if you have an Apple Music subscription or a Spotify subscription or type, it's on YouTube. You can search for it on YouTube. So really, at this point, it's out everywhere.
It's records. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to stream the record, pretty much anywhere you find your music is there. If you want to purchase it for download, you know what? I have my computer in front of me, and I can paste a link in the comments.
Perfect.
There you go.
That's what's up. All right.
Thank you for asking that question.
Pick your prices.
And we'll certainly work to support by putting a post on the Vintage House page as well.
Amen.
I really appreciate it. I just posted the TrackSource link inside the live video that's on the Vintage House on WNURFM 89.3 Facebook page.
Yep.
So
that's it.
We'll get it out there.
Yes.
Carla,
guys.
it has been a wonderful pleasure. We know that you got to teach, so we want you to be ready and chipper for your 7th grade class. Shout out to the 7th graders.
Yes,
That's right.
I'm in Fort Heights, Cottage Grove upper grade. I do want to say that we're still in remote learning, so they are pretty much doing everything via e-learning platform. But prayers going out to all the students who graduated and didn't get graduation, and all of the people who were affected in the education sector with the pandemic. Prayers for them, and hopefully we'll get back to normal at some point. Because the kids
We
need
will.
interaction. So.
We will.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for your continued commitment, right, to their learning experience. My wife is an administrator in a CPS school as well, and she's still grinding hard to make sure the kids get their education. So I get it wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So prayers going out to everybody for that, and just to make sure everybody's staying safe and healthy, stay in like we're supposed to, and just enjoy the music. That's the goal, to keep getting it out there so people will have something to enjoy while they're still at home.
All right.
We'll do. And tune in every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, to the Vintage House Show. Lori is the selector next week.
Yes, and we'll have Jesse
June
Saunders.
3rd.
Next, huh?
Saunders.
June 3rd is next week, and we'll have Jesse Saunders on the show.
Yes.
Talk about his book and what he's up to.
No,
All
Jesse
right.
Saunders is going to be interviewing two of the major stars of his book, Lori Branch and Kevin
I don't know
McCall.
how that happened.
So the tables are turned next
I
week
love it.
here, and then we're also making special announcements of some other things that Jesse's going to be doing throughout the month of June, leading up to the Chosen Few picnic. So I can't wait to hear the interview between Kevin and Lori, and someone as special as Jesse getting the real down and dirty questions, getting the real information, the background information on both of these superstars.
I will get some down and dirty questions in of my own. I've known him since we were 17 years old.
No. Jesse's asking all the questions, Lori Branch,
Okay.
and you're just
We'll
answering
see.
them.
We'll see about that. All right.
A little friction on the Vintage House.
I love me some Jesse. What you talking about? He can do no wrong.
We
That's my
We are
boy.
looking forward to that, but again, are so appreciative of you, Carla, and
Thank you for having
you, Immaculate, for joining in. Do tune in next week, June 3rd, and every Wednesday night as we bring you the best talk show, music show on the history and the business of house.
Yes.
Lori, are you spinning?
Lori Branch.
Yes, I'm gonna do a little live set. We'll see how long Facebook lets me do it. I haven't
Right.
switched to Twitch yet, but we'll make it do what it do. But we're gonna start off with a little bit of I fell in love. Never fall in love with a DJ. I'm about to say I fell in love with a DJ.
Okay.
Never fall in love with a DJ.
Right.
First up.
Thanks everyone in the audience that tuned in tonight.
Thanks,
It's a great
guys.
show, and go out and buy all of Carla's records and support
That's right.
Immaculate and Byron Stingley, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
These guys, love you. Thank you so much.
Good.
Okay.
Bye bye.
You've been tuned in to another episode of the Vintage House Show, normally broadcast on WNUR 89.3. We are powered by the Modern Dance Music Research and Archiving Foundation, the only foundation dedicated to the preservation of house music culture, icons, pioneers, and of course, the music. It's your main man, Mega, my producer, super duper producer, curator, and friend, Lauren Lowry. Check out our co-host, DJ Lori Branch, going live on her Facebook page. We'll see you next week.
Good evening to you.
These guys are all big influences on me and certainly house music.
No, that does not sound like
walk
most.
around with that collar popped up.
Yeah.
Hey, do this, you go
So, so let's go on that. I want to talk a little bit about each of your illustrious careers, because you guys have done you've done a lot. All three of you have done amazing, have had amazing contributions to what we call house music. This is the Vintage House Show. And so part of what that is about is celebration and preservation. This is Lawrence framing, but the celebration and preservation of Chicago house legends and Chicago house music. And I think